Hello, YouTube fans. This is TheSkullKlown here to talk about Kingdom Hearts 4. Oh, sorry, 8. 4. Technically, if you actually count the rolling numbers, it's actually 5, 6. Well, 5, 6. Then you add it together, it's still 6. So it's Kingdom Hearts 6, people. No, but where's 4 and 5? You just decided to skip that and just give us fucking 6? I don't blame you. No. But, oh, man. So, if anyone liked the trailer, if anyone liked everything that they saw from Kingdom Hearts, I'll suggest you leave right now or forever hold your peace. Because I'm going to say some things that might piss you off or might say some things that you might not like. Okay? Alright? So, those are the ones that are crybabies can leave. The ones that are mature and are adults can stay. Alright? So, Kingdom Hearts 4. Oh, wow, you know what? Is it going to come out in 2030? Oh, it's supposed to come out 2022 or 20 of next year. 2023, most likely, right? And then you have a mobile Kingdom Hearts game, and you literally, what is it, Missing Link? Yeah, it's such going to be a missing link that's in the mobile. That Kingdom Hearts game is such going to be a missing link that no one is not going to fucking play it because it's on mobile. And when people do play it, say if you can cross, right? That shit was there. But how many games that you have played on your phone and then eventually it's out on the fucking goddamn store like it never comes back? See, this is the shit what I'm talking about because people will always say, oh, that doesn't matter and shit like that. If it's part of a story that is part of a console story, that's a problem. Right? For kind of people still haven't played the Union Cross stuff, and that shit ended. How's anyone supposed to play the Union Cross stuff? By looking shit on YouTube? Really? Is that what you want us to do, Square? See, with this whole thing with Kingdom Hearts, with Kingdom Hearts 4, you see this shit, and I just felt like you see the trailer, and all I felt was just disappointment. Just disappointment. This company, I'm not eating this shit. It's the most disappointing thing that is actually, I don't know what to say, to be quite honest, because it just speaks volumes of this. Like, yeah, cool, Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming because you didn't want to delay it even further. You say that, oh yeah, that was our mistake, oh bad. Yeah, oh bad my ass, kiss my fucking ass. Alright? If you really want to fucking repay the Kingdom Hearts community, the true fans that like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 and the other games, and not started the franchise with 3, and now was like, oh, I'm just going to play Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3. Those are the type of people that I will put in a fucking goddamn cage and burn them alive. Alright? You don't know shit about that fucking franchise, alright? Going in a franchise like this is not Shin Megami Tensei where you can go or Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest when you can go to any other fucking game and just play it because it's a different story. Kingdom Hearts is not like that. It would never be like that. Why do some people think it's like that? And then you want to have a fucking goddamn excuse saying that it sucks. No, you suck for not fucking playing the other fucking goddamn games. You're not a gamer, you're a pathetic fucking piece of shit that wants to fucking be part of the crowd. I recently got a Persona 5S, and there's some Persona people around, not all of them, but there's some people here that be like, oh, Persona 5 Royal is not out? Well, I'm not going to play Persona 5S. Well, suck on that, bitch. If it's not Persona 5, then forget it, basically. What kind of mind shit is that crap? Okay? First of all, without Shin Megami Tensei, you don't even have fucking goddamn Persona, so fuck you for that. Same thing with Dragon Quest. Without Dragon Quest, we won't even have fucking Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts. So fuck you. Alright? Seriously. You guys want to fucking always want to debate saying that, oh, you know, like, these games, what are you talking about? That if this game wasn't out, this wouldn't happen. Of course, because you don't do your fucking goddamn gaming history. Right? And apparently you haven't looked at your fucking goddamn history when it comes to fucking Kingdom Hearts. Everyone's just like, on a fucking goddamn thumbnail. Fucking idiots. All those fucking people you see in the thumbnail, they're all like, huh? Are fucking idiots. All of you are fucking sellouts. All of you are sellouts. You're gonna trust a fucking goddamn company that gave you half of a piece of shit of a game and then cut story out. And then also with Kingdom Hearts 3, they literally were like, hey, let's cater to the newcomers. Fuck the newcomers. If you play Kingdom Hearts 3, they kept repeating the same fucking shit. Some questions were answered, yes, but at the same time, they kept repeating the same shit where they could have just answered other questions that weren't fucking goddamn answered. But no, you want to cater to the fucking newbies that don't give a fuck about your fucking franchise. That you want to cater to fucking people like Angry Joe that literally is like, oh, if I don't get Kingdom Hearts 3 story, it's shit. Did you play Kingdom Hearts 2? Did you play Chain of Memories? Did you play Kingdom Hearts 1? Did you play Chain of Memories? Did you play 2? Did you play Birth by Sleep? Did you play 350/2 days? Did you play Dream Drop Distance? Did you play Coded? No. Then you are a failure as a gamer and you're not supposed to be in this franchise. Why are you in this franchise? Why are you in this franchise? If you were going to get into this franchise, start from number 1, you motherfucker. Dumbass. Again, going back, this is not Final Fantasy or Shin Megami Tensei series, man. This is Final Fantasy. You don't, like, I don't know how the Halo series is, basically, but you don't go jump to Halo 3 and saying that it's shit if you haven't played Halo 1 and 2. You dumb motherfucker. You know? Like, come on, man. Fucking come on. You don't watch Titanic Part 2 and say it's shit if you didn't watch Part 1. The fuck? What's wrong with you? And then you want to agree to these people and be like, and then you have fucking photorealistic shit with Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah, because that worked very well with fucking Kingdom Hearts and with fucking Final Fantasy 7. Then my friend is like, well, yeah, they did that most likely because you know how people want not Shibuya, the Midgard to be like an open world type shit. My friend basically said that I doubt that will happen because that's too much content, and that just proves right there. Then literally in my head I was like, okay, that just proves right there they don't have enough content to make a fucking big giant world Midgard, and that's a problem. That is a problem. You mean to tell me you can't make Part 1 of Final Fantasy Part 1, which you didn't fucking promote. You can't make a fucking big giant world sandbox. I'm not saying you have to do everything of Midgard. Maybe some of the stuff that we've seen from the first one and maybe from Crisis Core or maybe before Crisis. You know those areas that we've seen that in other games that we didn't see in other games of Final Fantasy 7? Just do that. And I wouldn't fucking give a damn. It's still big and large, basically. But no, you don't want to do that. You just do not want to do that because you're lazy. You're lazy. And you made it into a fucking goddamn hallway, basically. I don't have to play Final Fantasy VII Remake. Do I have to play the fucking game to look at a fucking goddamn clip to see what the fuck it is, how the map is? You didn't learn from Final Fantasy 13? Again, going back, I'm playing Shin Megami Tensei 5, right? Right? And that shit has, like, if you look at the map, you'd be like, this map looks like something you see in Final Fantasy 13. But if you explore the map of Shin Megami Tensei 5, you'd be like, this is what Final Fantasy 13 should have had. And Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Why? Because you look at that map, you'd be like, there's a lot of stuff to do. There's a lot of stuff you can do. And still feel like it's open world. I didn't felt like that when I didn't felt like that from a game since Dragon Quest 11. When I saw the Dragon Quest map and all that from 11, and I'm like, oh, it's not open world, fuck you and all that. But then I started roaming around the areas, and I'm like, they could have done this with Final Fantasy 7 and 13, and no one wanted to complain about it. They did it in Final Fantasy 10, and it was fine. So what's wrong with this? For crying out loud, Final Fantasy 12 was great with that shit. To be honest, yeah, Final Fantasy 12 didn't have, again, open world, but you had a sandbox. Then you leave, you have another sandbox. That was awesome. That was fucking awesome. But yet you can't do it because you're going to give an excuse of like, oh, we can't do open world games with high graphics. Cut back then. You acting like these graphics, if they don't look the way they look, like what you see in Kingdom Hearts 4, no one's not going to buy it. And if you have that mindset, then you're the problem to begin with. And if anyone has that mindset too, you're the problem to begin with too. Any person that's like, oh, I want to play like old games for nostalgia purposes. If I play an old game that I don't have nostalgia for, I'm not going to play because of the graphics. So I didn't play Parasite Eve as a kid. So you mean to tell me I should not play that game because of the graphics, the way it looks? So I'm holding myself back from a good game. You want me to hold myself back from a good game. But yeah, you want me to play a shit game that barely has anything and then has microtransactions. Fucking 2K20 too. For crying out loud. And then the game is still fucking crashing. The reason I point some of this stuff out is because why are you guys still trusting these companies? Why are you still looking at Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy and you're like, Why? There's no reason for you guys to be hyped for this game. Look at Final Fantasy Versus 13. Hyped as fuck. Then, nothing. Then hyped us again, nothing. Gave us a demo, because we were like, okay, some of this stuff will be in the game. I still have it on my PlayStation 4. That demo that they gave us from Final Fantasy 15, I still have that demo. And none of that shit that's in the demo is in the fucking goddamn game. That demo's just showing what would be in the game. But was it? No, it wasn't. None of that shit was. So what was the point? What's the point of making a demo if that's not going to be in the game? Play PlayStation 1 demos and you'd be like, okay, I can see the feel of it. Then you play the main game, you'd be like, oh wow, they changed a few stuff, but the core is still here. You know? That's what I liked about demos back in the day, man. It showed the development between the demo and when it actually released. You can actually look side by side of what they changed or what they did not change. For crying out loud, look at Final Fantasy 7 demo from the PlayStation 1. You had Aerith. And then you play the main game and you didn't have Aerith in the beginning. You see, shit like that, guys. Shit like that is what I love about demos, but they're never going to give you that in nowadays. Why would they? Stuff like that, to them, would be like, oh, that's wasting more money. That's something that we could have saved to put it on DLC, which doesn't deserve to be on DLC. It's just a fucking goddamn demo! And then with the whole thing with the Miss Link of Kingdom Hearts, the Kingdom Hearts Miss Link, they literally was like, oh yeah, it's also like what is it, like, it's a streaming, not a streaming service, it's basically like, it's an online thing like Grand Theft Auto, basically, but at the same time, Square hasn't really developed it, so basically it's a beta, they want you to play this game, so they could be like, oh, you're the tester, and then we can fix the game, basically. Because they don't know what the fuck they want with this shit. So what the... Missing Link is a beta game, and you're selling it as a fucking game for people to play. Why are you giving us a beta shit that's not even fucking goddamn finished? I'm looking at that trailer, and I'm like, there's no one in the fucking... Where's everybody? Everything's empty. For kind of loud, when you play the Dragon Quest mobile game, that shit has more stuff in it. It has like plants and all that stuff, grassy area. It doesn't look empty, but that looks empty as fuck. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And it's a mobile game, and I'm like, I see mobile games that have more stuff in the background. This looks like they did the bare minimum. It looks like they looked at the mobile Final Fantasy game that they had, and they were like, what could we do? We could do with this with Kingdom Hearts, but do it less. Like, let's not have a lot of shit in the background. You literally made your background like a literally 30s or 40s cartoon. And back then, that did look appealing. It still does, you know, because it got away with it in animation and stuff like that. And if that was still in animation, I still think it would look good, just different style and everything like that. But here, I'm all looking at them like, are you guys primitive? Square, are you primitive? Do you not know how to make games anymore? If you don't know how to make games, maybe you should sell your company to somebody else. Fun note, to be honest. This is something that I found out recently. NX, before they went to Sqawn, NX used to be friends with Atlas, the one that made the Shin Megami Tensei series. This is from what I heard. I probably is getting a little bit mixed up here, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. But when NX went to Sqawn, Atlas was literally going to be like dead because they couldn't keep afloat with their company. So who bought them? Sega. But when I found that out, I literally told myself, you mean to tell me Sqawn, that's now Square Enix, could have gotten the Shin Megami Tensei series. They could have. And they would have fucked that shit up. Look at the Shin Megami Tensei series. Look at their monsters. Look at their demons. Look at their lore. They would completely change that. Because look at them. You think Atlas cares about this woke culture bullshit? No. They're gonna make a fucking demon that has his dick sticking out between his legs and sell that on a fucking Nintendo system. Yes, that's real. That's a real fucking thing. It's called Shin Megami Tensei 5. There's a fucking demon, and a demon that you can recruit that has literally his dick out like that. Doesn't show what the dick looks like, but you know what it is. When it's between his legs and shit, I'm like, that's his tail? Well, no, his tail is in the back of him. And then what's that? Oh, that's his dick. And there's another monster too that looks like almost looks like one of those stone creatures that has those big faces and all that. You guys probably know what I'm talking about, but if you don't, that's fine. But when you look at them, you'd be like, they should be censored. Most people are like, why? They literally showing the balls and dick. I'm like, this is a Nintendo game. Nintendo. To be honest, you didn't give a fuck. I love that. Yeah. Don't censor games that are like that. But Sony wants to do it. Oh, no jiggle. But Nintendo's just like, yeah, jiggle, whatever. Because Nintendo knows how the Japanese fan base is, and they know how the American is too. For crying out loud, Nintendo loves stuff like that. For crying out loud, that's one of the reasons why they got Bayonetta. When they finally got Bayonetta, in my opinion, I was just like, huh, okay, cool. You know, like, I was expecting them to go more with rated M stuff, but seems like they were like, no, there is an audience out there. We need to capitalize on it. And they're right. They need to capitalize on people that are all ages, and that's what they're doing. That's why I love the Shin Megami Tensei games. 5 is not my first one. Soul Hacker was my first one. I never did beat it, but it was so much fun. Such a good game. Really good game. I recommend getting that game before you play 5, but Soul Hackers is fucking expensive as fuck. If you can find it for $40 or $45, that's it. Don't pay higher than that, to be quite honest. So, I'm sorry. I know I'm getting into a tangent, but this is just goes on top of everything how I feel about Kingdom Hearts 4. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's how I feel. Kingdom Hearts 4, look, I'm not going to... Kingdom Hearts 4, look, most likely it's on the PS5, right? So, obviously I'm not going to get it. You know? When I saw this stuff on Facebook, I was like, oh, that's cool, like, fan art and something like that. Someone made Sora laying on a couch with no shoes and shit. Look, he's chilling. Then I read the comments, and people saying, oh my god, no shoes and shit. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, of course he has no shoes. Like, and? Then I'm getting more in the comments and saying that people can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 4, and I'm like, is this real? And I'm looking through the pictures and everything, and I'm like, this is real. Then I see the trailer, and I'm like, oh, this is real. And I already see some flaws that's on the trailer anyways. And I'm just like, go back to your roots, man. Play Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, and 2, and be like, what could we do to bring those things back? Kingdom Hearts 2, the gameplay. Chain of Memories, in my opinion, the story. Kingdom Hearts 1, the worlds. That's all you have to do. But no, you want to fucking make things floaty. Look, I love Sora when he went to Smash. I thought he would never went to Smash, but he did. Cool. Once I bought him and played as him, I was kind of pissed off. A little bit. Not completely pissed, but pissed enough to be like, wow, Fuck you, Square. You made him floaty. I'm sorry, I never like. Why is he floaty? Give me the Kingdom Hearts 2 Battle Saga or the Kingdom Hearts 1 Battle Saga. Cause at least that, he's not going like floating and shit like fucking like he has fucking hover shoes and shit. Why is he floating? And the thing is, I understand probably why he's floating because when he fights, it's really smooth and awesome, but you can do that without him being floaty. And I've already mentioned this before, the people that have, the team that made Birth by Sleep does not know how to make Kingdom Hearts games. And the people that made 358/2 Days actually know how to make a Kingdom Hearts game. Now, if it's from the same team, I'm going to look at that team and be like, what the fuck happened? You decided to smoke coke one day and decided to not do that in another day? Because if you look at if you look at Birth by Sleep in 358/2 Days, it's night and day. Night fucking day. Especially with the fucking goddamn story. I love Birth by Sleep, I do. But 358/2 Days is more better of a story. Birth by Sleep has better gameplay, but it doesn't have a better story. You know, I mean, it's, I still like the story, but it's not 358/2 Days, alright? It's not. It just isn't. The story in that game is phenomenal. I think it's, to me, it's one of the best Kingdom Hearts stories, hands down. Alright? I think it's better than Kingdom Hearts 2 story. Yeah, I went there. Alright? Fuck you, basically. I don't care. I went there. Okay? That's how much I like that game. I don't care what you guys think about the gameplay or the layouts or how to fucking do, the missions and all that. I don't care about that. What I care is literally what the story was, and that story was really fucking good. Especially when we compare it to Kingdom Hearts 3. And what's this story going to be, huh? Oh, I heard it's been 7 years since Sora's been out, but in the game, it's like saying 7 days and shit. So you're basically doing Crisis Core. You're basically doing Shibuya, The World Ends With You. Sora's going to have 7 days, basically, which is equivalent to 7 years in the real world. So, are you actually going to do a Kingdom Hearts game, but like The World Ends With You? The thing is, too, Nomura can't let it go. He can't let go of Final Fantasy 15. He can't. For crying out loud, he put it right there with fucking Kingdom Hearts 3. And he's telling everyone, no, that wasn't it. I'm like, you in denial. You in fucking denial, dude. You in denial as fuck. You wanted what Final Fantasy 15 was, versus 13. Didn't happen. Then you made it to 15. Didn't happen. Because every time you fuck up, someone from the higher ups has to fucking protect your ass and someone has to fucking get fired because of you. You. Because the guy that actually kind of fixed Final Fantasy 15, he's actually the good one. But Square fired him. You can't fire Nomura. Right? That's the shit I'm talking about, man. So I'm like, okay, nice to know where your moral priorities are, Square. Literally. Like, you could have just told Nomura, oh, okay, if you're going to do this, then we're going to take you down a peg. Like, you're not going to direct any Final Fantasy. You're just going to be a creator of a monster, and that's it. And that's all you're good at. You can have Kingdom Hearts, but touch your Final Fantasy, that's it. You're done. That's what I would have told them. If I was one of the higher ups of Square, I would have told Nomura that, hey, you're done. Like, you're not fired or nothing, but you're not creating stories for Final Fantasy anymore. You could do it with Kingdom Hearts because that's your baby, but you're not doing it with Final Fantasy. You're just going to make monster characters or characters that are iconic like Sqawn and Cloud, but that's it. That's all you're ever going to get. Nomura is a great character designer and great monster designer. He's not a great writer. Okay? Some people had to help him write that shit. Almost like when the whole Star Wars saga first happened. People praised George Lucas, which we all know George Lucas had help in making that script. I mean, for crying out, that was more important when people saw the prequels. I mean, I like the prequels, except for 2, but still, I like the first one and the third one. The third one is highly epic. Despite some of its flaws, it's still highly epic. That whole fight between freaking Anakin and Obi, that shit's awesome. Like, them fighting on a fucking volcano and shit. Some people say it's too long. I wish it was longer. That's how much I love that shit. I don't give a fuck. All the complaints that some people have with that shit and some of the stuff here in Kingdom Hearts series, some of it, not all of it, but some of it, I'm just like, guys, maybe if you put your fucking feet on the fucking goddamn grass and meditate, maybe you actually get what these fucking games are telling you. But you know, you just want to be fucking dumb and just be entertained instead of learning. That's why I have a problem with people, and that's why I'm not a people person, because you rather just be entertained, being like, instead of learning and growing as a person and being like, you know what? No, fuck this company. They spit me in the face, and I don't have to be spit at this anymore. There's other Square Enix games that are coming out right now that I am looking forward to. The Chrono stuff? The Chrono Trigger stuff? Well, the Chrono Cross one. I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely going to buy that. Most people are like, oh, don't buy it. You always have those people. Don't buy it. It's a remake of this. The way they made it. I don't give a fuck. They didn't fuck it up like they did with 15 or these other games. All they did was, a blurry effect that you see on a PS1 game. Wow! Then play the original if you want to fucking complain about it. Dumb motherfucker. Or emulate it. You can do that, you know. All these complaints. There's no reason for you to complain when it's 2022 and they already have a lot of shit that you can just overcome with that shit. So don't come at me with that crap. Don't. Because you're looking dumb as fuck. And I can't wait to get Live and Live. I've been wanting to get that game ever since I first laid my eyes on it. And the fact that that game is coming here is great. Because there's so many Square Enix games that are in Japan that's just great and never came out here in America. And now Square Enix is doing that. Why? In my opinion, I think they're doing it because they actually realize that no one's not playing Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts anymore. They're playing their side shit. Their hardcore fan base are not playing Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts anymore. They're playing their other shit that is better than that crap. And they know it. They know it. Why do you think they look at Final Fantasy Dragon Quest 11, and they're like, okay. You guys do like turn-based. All right, fine. All right, we will bring that shit back here. Because at first, they didn't want to bring turn-based back here. Would you believe that maybe at one point they were going to put Dragon Quest 11 just in Japan and that's it? Imagine that. Imagine just having Dragon Quest games in Japan only. Because Square Enix thought, it wouldn't sell because it's turn-based. I always read online that people just hate turn-based just because, I'm taking turns. You hate taking turns? You hate taking turns? Play Final Fantasy IV. Oh, you hate waiting? You hate waiting? Then don't play an RPG. Don't play it. Don't even play an action RPG, because that goes to you still strategizing. Same thing with Kingdom Hearts. If you play Kingdom Hearts 2 and you use the Berserker weapon and you fight Sephiroth or the Terra, when he's wearing the suit, the Lingling Will, you try to do that. I remember doing that and I'm like, the game thing. I remember doing that and I was like, I'm gonna exploit this and shit like that. No, because the developers were smart enough to do that shit. Guess what happened? I took that fucking sword and I was doing really good when I was fighting the Lingling Will on Sephiroth. My friend was like, dude, you almost killed him. You took 3 balls out of him, and I was doing really good. But when I used that Berserker, I was like, ta-ta, and you know how the Berserker is, because you just keep going. It berserks the enemy, so they keep floating and stuff like that. So I'm doing that shit to Sephiroth. I'm like, da-da-da-da-da-da, and it's so fucking cool. I'm like, yo, I'm about to beat Sephiroth. Then all of a sudden, Sephiroth counters with his weapon, ding, and then it, you know how it goes like that every time you hit on blades? So that happened to me, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm about to hit him again. He flips, and all of a sudden his fucking Masamune sword kills me, and I died. And I'm like, it happened so fast and so quick that I was like, they thought that shit. They thought that through. I could have used the Berserker and the thing is, you could have used the Berserker in the Kingdom Hearts 2 game and destroyed everything. Just by you doing the Berserker shit. But the fact that the developers looked at that weapon and they were like, no, that would be overpowered for the player. They kind of nerfed it a bit. Oh, actually, no, they didn't nerf it. They just made some of the bosses or some of the enemies, well, most of the bosses, counter into a way that, oh, you think, like, if you keep doing it, you're just going to stop doing it, basically. We're going to counterattack it, do something else, you know? It's almost like that. And I love it. I actually do love it. And then, for example, another one, since I am playing Shin Megami Tensei 5, it's literally, and this is from other games too, in the Shin Megami Tensei series, when you exploit a weakness of the enemy, you get to have another turn. And that is fucking amazing. But some people that hate turn-based would never do that. They will literally just press play or do autoplay and then they die and be like, this game sucks, fuck you. It's almost like that meme when someone, have you ever seen that meme when someone's like skipping all the cutscenes and then they continue playing the game and then they end the game and they say that it sucks because they skip all the cutscenes? I remember showing that meme to my friend. My friend's like, and I'm like, thank you. That's the exact reaction that I was expecting because people are like that. Why? See, this is ever since people wanted to become big on YouTube, you guys have been fucking goddamn lazy. Really lazy. That's why some games come with an easy option so you guys can actually play through the game and then review it. That's why I like some games like Cuphead that don't have that option, because you need to get good at the fucking goddamn game. Something that, oh, stupid concept you have to do. And I understand and overstand if you don't have the time for it. Look, I'm an adult, and I don't even have time for that shit. I don't want to spend like 5 or 12 hours sitting down getting good on Cuphead. I'd rather play a Final Fantasy game, or again, a Dragon Quest game, going through the story, having fun. Because sometimes games like Cuphead can fucking frustrate you and make you want to throw the controller on the screen or fucking rip your hair out or beat your fucking head like this. Games like that, you have to watch yourself, to be quite honest. Because in reality, they want you to freak out like that. They do. I mean, you think these companies care of making, like the higher ups, not the developers, the people that own the company. You think they give a fuck if you rage quit? They look at them and be like, yes, good. Can we make this game harder next time? It's all about the money, and it's all about people pissing people off. Now look, me and my friend always discuss this, like, hey, if a game is so hard, will it be out there? No. A game cannot be really hard for the public to go out to then play it, basically. But look, tell Americans that, because Final Fantasy V never came out in America until later on, because, oh, Nintendo or other people thought, like Square Enix thought that, oh, well, maybe Square or someone from Nintendo thought that, oh, this game would be too hard for American players, meaning that American players are fucking dumbasses. And you know what? You're not wrong. American players are dumbasses because they don't know how to fucking play turn-based RPG. Do you know how to strategize? That's the biggest problem I have. Do you, alright, you play Persona. Have you ever played Persona at all? Any of the Persona games? You do realize you have to strategize, right? The thing is too, you have people that love the Persona games, but that's also turn-based. You're gonna hate that game? The only Persona game that's action is what? Strikers? From what I can see. And the thing is, Strikers is fun. To me, that type of gameplay style, switching characters too and everything like that, that is what I suspected Kingdom Hearts 3 battle system to be. But it wasn't. Stupid concept, right? Something that could have been like that. But no, another game did it. That did it 10 times better and made the game way better. And it's not floaty. Dumbass. Fucking. Whoever thought of the floaty shit should be fucking fired. Alright? Should be fucking fired or at least get their fucking paycheck lowered. That's what I would have fucking done. Alright? That's what, again, going back, I would have done that with Nomura. After the whole shit with Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, for crying out loud, they had to do another Kingdom Hearts game just to satisfy the people that were pissed off, but it still didn't work. With the whole Green Line DLC too? Come on, man. Come on. And then some idiots want to be like, oh, but it's still good. Look, I had that fucking, what is it? I had that little honeymoon phase with Kingdom Hearts 3 also, man. But then, you know, I started looking at videos and I started breaking down of how the game was in my head, and I was just like, and then more of the flaws started pointing out at me, and I'm just like, damn, this game sucks. The game fucking sucks. And then to get my fulfillness, I had to play fucking not Final Fantasy. I had to, well, actually, in a way, kinda. I had to play Final Fantasy 12, which I'm still haven't played. I haven't played a while. There's a lot of games I played and stopped playing. I have to come back to some of those. But Final Fantasy 12, Dragon Quest 11, Shin Megami Tensei 5, and Persona 5, Strikers. These games gave me more satisfaction and more respect to these companies than Final Fantasy 15, Dissidia for the PlayStation 4, and Kingdom Hearts 3. Those are the three things. And plus, and then 15, Final Fantasy 15 took fucking forever to come out, which was originally Final Fantasy Versus 13. And then you're gonna still have people being like, when's Final Fantasy Versus 13 coming out? And I'm over here like, how many idiots are on the internet? No wonder I don't have thousands and millions of subscribers, because all of you are fucking idiots. All of you are. Not all of you, but just some of you guys always go like, on your fucking goddamn thumbnail for a fucking reaction video. I don't know, man. Like, how could I trust how could I trust any of these motherfuckers? Going back, especially these video game companies. You know? So, tell me what you guys think down below. Are you excited for Kingdom Hearts 4? Me, I'm just looking at it and it's just really disappointed. It's just disappointment. All around. Why should I be hyped for Kingdom Hearts 4 when you decided to smack me and literally smack me in the face? Hell, I even forgot to mention the whole Final Fantasy 7 remake shit. You have 15, Kingdom Hearts 3, Dissidia, and Final Fantasy 7 remake. All four of these fucking fucked up and failed in the hardcore fans, the original fans' eyes. Not the fucking shit fans that are like Angry Joe. Not those shits. Not those fucking people like fucking HMK and fucking Cynical. Not those fucking people. Right? Not the Night Prince, or not the fucking, Night Prince of fucking shit. Who the fucking Justice like fucking what? Freaking Noctis and shit. Like, come on, man. Like, fuck all those people, man. You guys are not fans. You guys never will be fans. And maybe at one point you were. But you decide to kiss these companies' asses. All because you get a little something for them. It doesn't matter if you get the game, or you probably get like little something to be like, oh, here, come with us, and you can see this game before it comes out. And you get to play it, or have it. But just stay shush, basically. And then you can work with us forever. You know? Come on, man. Where's your morals? Seriously. Let me give you a little thing before I close this shit. If you found out Hershey's, the candy bar Hershey's, if you worked for Hershey's, or you want to join Hershey's and promote their shit, but you find out that to get the chocolate, they had to literally put little kids as slaves to get that chocolate. You didn't find out, and then you find out. What do? Do you stay shut? Do you stay shut and let that continue on so you can reap the benefits from it too, or you say something because it's actually fucked up? And this company needs to be put down a peg, and people need to know how fucked up this shit is. That's something to point out, right? Good thing I use that Hershey thing as a fucking example because it's true. It goes straight to gaming, man. You're gonna have a video game company tell you how to dictate how a game is. For crying out loud, I watched like at least 2 YouTube videos that were like, hey, yeah, Atlas gave me this game and Sega, but it's not gonna change my opinion. Look. That's fine. You could say that. But at the same time, people like me, a YouTuber like me, will look at that and hear you and be like, why should I care about your review then?
You just literally told me that Atlas let you borrow the game. I would never trust you. That oh no shit. Maybe I might not trust you in this video, but other than that, I won't. I just trust other people that will probably don't get sponsors from YouTube or from other developers like Square or Rockstar or some shit. You know? Like, the only time I would trust somebody if they're like, yo, follow me on Patreon or some shit like that. Then I'd be like, oh, okay, they're promoting themselves. Instead of promoting Skillshare. Some stupid shit like that, man. Like, it's like, who gives a fuck? Then you have this whole fucking ad shit. Stupid. You know? I'm just tired of YouTubers like that, and it just shows how it is. It just shows how gamers are. Not all of them are like this, but the higher YouTube ones, like, I've said this before and I said it again. These high YouTubers have shown us, I mean, they expose themselves. That's why I look at them and be like, HMK, Cynical, all of you guys have exposed yourselves. Like, I'm still waiting for Cynical to do a Kingdom Hearts 3 review. Where is that review? He hasn't reviewed it, has he? He knows it's shit. He knows it's shit. Where is it? Where's the review of Kingdom Hearts 3, Cynical? Where is it? That's right. You didn't do it. Because you know it's shit. I'm out of here. Bye.